Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into a really interesting college soccer match.
Yeah, one of those games where the scoreline doesn't tell the whole story at all.
Exactly. We're looking at the East Carolina Pirates versus the UNC Charlotte 49ers.
Final score was UNC Charlotte 1, East Carolina 0, a tight one.
Super tight.
Yeah.
And our mission today is to get under the hood of that result, look at the tactics, the key players, those moments that, really decided things.
Right. Because just seeing one error misses all the nuance, doesn't it? We need to unpack the how and the why behind it. It's all in the tactical detail.
Absolutely. A one-goal game puts every single decision under the microscope. So let's start with the game plans. What did ECU look like coming out? What was their approach?
Well, East Carolina, they set up pretty defensively, you could say, almost conservative structurally.
Okay.
The plan seemed to be about absorbing pressure. They used two really solid banks of four, trying to stay compact.
Relying on experience back there.
Yeah, exactly. Players like Sophia Serrano, they call her the Iron Woman, apparently play every single minute this season. She was crucial for holding that defensive line together.
And offensively?
Yeah.
What was the plan? If they're sitting back, how do they create?
It looked like they were trying to find easier routes to goal, focusing heavily on set pieces.
Ah, okay. Corners, free kicks.
Yep. Trying to get deliveries in, especially targeting the back post, maybe looking for late runners to sneak in.
And Isabella Gutierrez is central to that, right? Known for her delivery.
Yeah.
But didn't the sources mention a bit of a struggle for them?
Yeah, that was the consistent theme. They found it difficult to really connect passes consistently, especially higher up the pitch.
In the attacking third.
Exactly. If you can't keep the ball up there, getting those set-piece chances becomes, much harder, less reliable.
And there was some strain on personnel, too, wasn't there? Mentioned Juliana Vieira.
Right. Big player for them, a real attacking threat. But she had apparently just played a full 90 minutes for Uruguay, just days before this match.
Wow, that's tough. So her fitness must have been a question mark.
Absolutely. And that impacts everything. Their ability to press high effectively, their transitions. If you concede and you want to press high to get back into it.
You need the legs for it.
You need the legs. And the report suggests they just couldn't implement that press properly, didn't quite have the energy reserves after setting up to absorb.
So kind of locked into that initial defensive posture. Let's flip it then. What about UNC Charlotte? How did they approach breaking down this ECU setup?
Charlotte came in looking much more dynamic, more fluid in attack.
Okay.
They weren't just relying on one star player. The strategy seemed balanced, trying to get goals from different areas, different players.
How'd they do that specifically, tactically?
One interesting thing was their use of opposite movements. You'd see like one forward check towards the ball, dragging a defender out.
Right.
And another player would then drop into the space that just opened up. It's designed to create confusion, pull those organized ECU lines apart.
And they were scoring goals coming into this one, weren't they? Like 3+ in recent games.
Yeah, they had some real attacking momentum.
Yeah.
Clearly playing with confidence.
So they get the lead, Niroa Dominic scores. How does their strategy change then? Because holding a 1-0 lead is its own challenge.
Oh, absolutely. And they managed it pretty smartly. The approach shifted almost immediately.
To be more conservative.
Definitely. Less about chasing a second goal, much more about controlling the game.
Game management.
Exactly. Slowing the pace down, keeping possession, using the corners of the pitch effectively to wind down the clock, starve ECU of the ball.
It's interesting, too, because their main scorer, Megan Bradley, was apparently kept relatively quiet in this game.
She was, yeah. Which makes Niroa Dominic's contribution, stepping up as the second leading scorer, even more vital. Her goal was obviously the difference maker.
And she was finding those dangerous spaces.
That's what she does well. And she wasn't alone. You had Chloe Salisbury, the freshman defender, pushing wide to give them width.
Crucial against a compact defense.
Absolutely. And then Harley Head in goal. She'd been growing in confidence through the season, providing that stability at the back.
Okay, let's zoom in on Charlotte's attack then, because they did produce some really good moments, even if they only got the one goal. That goal itself, minute 17. Walk us through how it happened.
It was a really nice build-up play. Started with a good progressive pass, broke through ECU's midfield line, initiating the attack down the left side.
Drawing defenders over.
Precisely, committing ECU players to that flank. And then came the key pass, a really well-weighted through ball played back inside, cutting through the defense.
Why was using that width first so important against ECU's setup?
Because ECU had those two solid lines, right? They want to stay narrow and compact. When you attack wide effectively, you force them to stretch.
Creates gaps.
Creates those gaps
Yeah.
between defenders, yeah, especially centrally. And that through ball just slipped right into one of those channels.
Led to a bit of a scramble in the box.
It did. And this is where Dominic really showed her value. Her first attempt, the shot was blocked, smuttered by a defender, or maybe the keeper.
Right.
But she didn't just stop. She reacted instantly, pounced on the loose ball, the rebound, and put it away.
That poacher's instinct.
Exactly. It wasn't like a wonder goal. It was pure determination, being alert, ready for that second chance. That often wins you these tight 1-0 games.
And they didn't let up immediately after, did they?
Yeah.
Minute 19, there was that clever set piece.
Oh, the short corner routine. Yeah, that was smart.
Instead of just hitting it into the box.
Right. They played it short, created a quick 1v1 situation out wide, beat the defender.
Which changes the angle for the cross.
Massively. Allows for a flatter, harder cross from a better position, aimed into that dangerous area near the penalty spot, not just floated in, hopefully.
And that almost worked too, didn't it? Led to a header down.
Yeah, a knockdown header, setting up Evie Craven for basically a point-blank shot. It took a fantastic block by an ECU defender right on the line to keep it out.
Wow. So creative set pieces causing problems.
Definitely. Creating that uncertainty, trying to capitalize on the chaos. And then, almost immediately after that, still around the 19th minute, they showed how dangerous they were in transition.
Off an ECU goal kick.
Yeah. Turned defense into attack instantly. A Charlotte midfielder won the header from the goal kick, spun away beautifully from the challenge.
Into space.
Exactly. Drove right into the space behind ECU's midfield line, which was caught disorganized.
And that led to the Reese Black shot.
The sensational curling effort, yeah, nearly broke the deadlock again. It just highlights winning that second ball, doesn't it?
And turning immediately.
Turning and attacking the space before the defense can reset. That was a recurring threat. We saw other long shots, too.
Right, Reese Black again later, minute 31.
Yep, a powerful shot from about 25 yards after an interception. And Penelope Rich had a really stinging left-footed volley around minute 23 after they recycled a clearance.
So constantly forcing ECU's defense to be alert, even from distance.
Keeps them honest. You can't just sag off. You have to respect the shot from deep.
Okay, so Charlotte clearly had the better of the attacking play, but it only resulted in one goal, which means we have to talk about ECU's defense. They showed some serious resilience.
We really did, bending but not breaking for the most part, and some key individual moments were huge for them.
Like the foul in minute 7, Gia Spinetti.
Yeah, the professional foul, textbook example.
What happened there?
Charlotte attacker takes a brilliant first touch, just instantly creates a breakaway situation. Spinetti realizes she's beaten.
And just takes her down.
Trips her from behind. Clear tactical foul. Prevents a probable one-on-one with the keeper.
Obvious yellow card, right?
Yeah.
But worth it in that situation, taking a card so early.
You'd have to say so, yeah. The attacker was clear, or nearly clear. The odds of scoring there are pretty high, so you make the calculation, take the yellow, kill the immediate threat.
Puts her under pressure for the rest of the game, though.
It does. It's a risk, but often a necessary one in those moments. But the really massive decision, the one that you could argue really shaped the whole contest.
Minute 24, the Kiera Wynn tackle.
Yeah, that was a big one. A really forceful slide tackle, left the Charlotte player down for a bit, looked bad.
Red card territory.
The ref definitely considered it. You could see they were thinking serious foul play, but crucially, they decided to downgrade it. Called it reckless play, not excessive force.
And issued a yellow instead of red.
Exactly, a yellow card.
How big a moment was that, tactically speaking, keeping it 11 versus 11?
Oh, monumental. Absolutely game-changing. If ECU go down to 10 players there, with over 65 minutes left?
Charlotte probably cruises.
You'd think so. They were already controlling play. With a player advantage, they could just keep the ball, exploit the space, probably find another goal or two much more easily.
So keeping Wynn on the field allowed ECU to stick to their game plan.
It let them maintain their defensive structure, keep absorbing pressure, stay in the fight. It was a lifeline, tactically. Even though Wynn was now walking a tightrope herself, it's quite rare for one refereeing judgment call to have such a direct impact on the whole tactical balance.
Beyond the tackles, though, there was also some just pure goalkeeping brilliance from ECU, wasn't there? Olivia Dietrich.
Oh, absolutely. That save in the 22nd minute was top class.
Against Evie Craven again.
Yeah, Craven made a great move, shifted the ball across her body perfectly to open up the angle for a shot, hit it really well, curling.
And Dietrich.
Full stretch dive, fantastic save. But the key was the technique.
How so?
She didn't just stop it. She pushed it wide, away from danger, towards the sideline, not back into the middle where forwards are waiting to pounce.
Like Dominic did for the goal.
Exactly. That detail, parrying it wide, prevented an easy rebound tap-in. That's quality goalkeeping right there.
ECU did manage one ambitious effort themselves, right? Kira win again.
Yeah, minute 26. Still probably buzzing from avoiding the red card. She tried one from distance, just outside the center circle, after a throw-in was flicked on.
Testing the keeper.
Definitely showed some intent. Forced Harley Head in the Charlotte goal to make a save, but Head handled it well.
Good positioning.
Textbook positioning, clean catch, nullified the threat pretty comfortably. It sort of showed ECU's situation. They had ambition, but turning it into clear chances against a set defense was tough.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. We've gone deep on the tactics.
Yeah.
What's the main takeaway from this 1-0 game?
For UNC Charlotte, I think it comes down to tactical flexibility and just sheer persistence. They used width smartly to unsettle ECU's block.
Right.
Their set pieces were creative, always asking questions, and Dominic's goal was the perfect example of being ready for that second ball, that rebound, just pure opportunism.
And for ECU, what's their story?
It's a story of, like, incredible defensive grit and individual moments of brilliance, Dietrich's save, Spinetti's foul, even surviving that red card scare. But ultimately, that defensive strength wasn't matched by enough consistent threat going forward. They struggled to connect, to turn those defensive stops into sustained attacks, and just lacked that cutting edge in the final third.
So a really fascinating tactical battle, ultimately decided by one moment of capitalizing on chaos.
Pretty much. A well-earned, if narrow, win for Charlotte based on their overall play. But it definitely leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it?
Go on?
Well, thinking about that potential red card in the 24th minute, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often in these really high-level, closely fought games does a referee's subjective call, yellow versus red, become maybe the most decisive tactical factor?
More than any coaching strategy.
Potentially, yeah. Does that single moment of judgment, that interpretation of the rules, sometimes end up outweighing all the clever tactics, all the formations, everything else that happened on the pitch? It's something for you, the listener, to chew on.
A really interesting point about the referee's influence on the tactical flow. Definitely food for thought. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.